Good day, Market Chameleons. Everyone joining in for the first time, thanks for coming by and checking out our Market Chameleon webinar series. Before we get started, let's take a look at the shared disclaimer. Please be aware that neither Market Chameleon, Dimitri, or myself are registered investment advisors or a broker-dealer. If you're searching for investment advice, please reach out to a licensed professional. This webinar, as all our webinars and shows, are for informational purposes only concerning Market Chameleon tools and products. With that, one last look at the disclaimer, and let's welcome Dimitri Pargamanik to the stage. We'll be talking about stock volume burst screener. How you doing, D?
Good. How are you all?
Good. Let me share. Why don't you share your screen? Let me add it to the stage. There you go. There's the Market Chameleon landing page. All right, here we go.
And let's navigate to the stock volume burst screener, and then we'll discuss it and do some example screens. And first, we'll hover up on top on the main menu, and sorry, it's under stocks, and we're going to go to volume burst screener over here. Click on that, and this will take us to our volume burst screener. And we see we have our filters above, our data table below. And the idea here is we capture large, unusual volume bursts throughout the day. And a large volume burst would be something where it's an unusual trading volume in a very short period of time. And we use minute-to-minute VWAPs to capture those volume bursts, and then when we capture it, we tag it, and then we isolate it and analyze it. So when a volume burst happens, it could happen for a number of different reasons, but typically it's when a party looking for liquidity, either to buy or sell, and grabs that liquidity quickly once they either are matched up in a dark pool, or where they take the displayed liquidity on the order book. So the displayed liquidity could be something like, let's say it's a hedge fund or a large institution, and they're trying to, build a position or accumulate stock. And if they see that, well, there's a lot of, let's say, limit orders on the order book, well, they'll grab it, right away, in a volume burst, because they don't want to, miss that opportunity that somebody will take that liquidity before them. Okay, so volume burst could also happen where news comes out and a program trade comes in, or there are program trades in the market sometimes that create these volume bursts as well. But the idea there is that this is a large trading volume in a very short period of time. Okay, so and sometimes you don't see that when you're looking at the entire volume throughout the day. You'd have to go and detect them on a more granular level, and they could happen throughout the day. Maybe every day you could get some larger volume bursts. So what we do is we capture those volume bursts and use benchmarks to see if they're unusual volume bursts and how many of them are happening throughout the day. So let's take an example. I'm going to take one of my filtered screeners, and let's look at large bullish bursts. Okay, I'm going to click on this. So these are my preset filters here, and then it gave us these 5 stocks. So this is the stock symbol, the name. This is the market cap, price, and price change. And what we see here is we divide the burst into buy bursts and sell bursts. Okay. And then we compare the two, how, were they balanced throughout the day? Was there an imbalance? Was it, like a clear bias towards one side? And the way we look at the trading burst is that when a big volume trade happens, right? Well, what's the impact on the stock, right? So let's say we were, instead of looking at it for a minute or a couple seconds, imagine like you were looking at it on a day, from day to day, and if you saw a large volume, let's say in Amazon, well, if there's unusually large volume on the day, and the stock was up 5%, right? So then we could infer that large volume, right? The impact was on an uptick, right? It was driving the stock price. There was demand for the stock, right? That on that day there was demand, whatever was good news, or more people wanted to buy the stock and bid it up, right? So that's what here, the same idea. We take a look at the volume burst and the impact on the stock, and then categorize it as a buy volume burst or sell volume burst. Okay, so if the volume, this unusual volume burst, that was also correlated to an uptick in the stock price, we'd call it a buy volume burst. Sell volume burst is the opposite. So here we see in the stock, there was a total of 9 buy volume bursts that we detected for a total dollar value of $1.4 million. So if we added them all up, we had $1.4 million worth of stock that will categorize as the buy volume bursts. And then we compare that to an average typical day. And this is 3.2 times the average typical day of volume bursts on the buy side. And then we do the same thing on the sell side. We see there's one for $155,000 worth of notional stock, and that on a relative basis is only 0.1 or 10% of what we see typically in this stock. So you can see there that there is an imbalance on the day of large volume bursts on the buy side relative to the sell side. So if we take it on balance, right, if we just say, okay, well, if we took the dollar value of all the buy bursts minus the dollar value of all the sell bursts, what is the balance? What do we get if we just take one minus the other? So if it's a positive, there's more buy bursts. If it's a negative, there's more sell bursts. So here we see on balance of $1.3 million worth of stock, okay, in dollar terms. And this helps us get an idea, well, what kind of dynamics on a granular level are happening in these larger institutional trades. So these buy bursts are relative to that stock. Okay, so for some stocks, $1.4 million worth of stock is not a real buy burst. Like for Amazon, that could be just a typical trading minute. So we're using that on a relative basis, the liquidity of the stock and the trading volume of the stock. So when we detect a volume burst, it's relative to the historical trading volume in that particular stock. And here we see there are 5 total, $589,000 worth of imbalance here, 1.3 million, 2 million. And again, in something like, Google or Amazon, this might not be that meaningful, but in other stocks that are less liquid, this could be a more meaningful metric. So let's take a look at some of these other filters we have. What about, we'll take another one. Here's a volatility pressure. So what does volatility pressure mean? When we get a lot of bursts, right? Like look over here. We have, on a relative basis, we have a lot of buy volume bursts. We also have a lot of sell volume bursts, right? So what this could indicate is either there's current volatility in that stock, or there's, grounds to think that there's going to be further volatility, because now you have large volume bursts on both sides, acting on both sides of the equation, where some people are trying to get out, some people are trying to get in, but it's happening on both sides of the market, which could create volatility, right? Where you have just large volumes coming in, accessing liquidity from both sides. So that could be another indicator of volatility, volatility or real volatility in the market, where large sums of institutional volume is moving around in that particular stock, or trading in that particular stock. Okay, so that would be, so you can see here we had a lot of those from the previous day. Let's take another one. Let's do one. Here I have a bullish pressure. So this is kind of the same idea. I just tightened up these parameters, right? Where we could also look for larger relative volume, larger notional values. So here what I did was put a larger notional value into the bullish pressure. You can see the relative notional is about 3. So what this means, it's 3 times more than the average on the buy side. So on the buy side, what we're looking for is at least 5 or more volume bursts. So at least 5 on the buy side, and a total of $1 million in notional value. So you could see these are above 1 million. 3 times the average, typical average. And then what I did was put on the sell volume burst that the relative notional was below 0.5. So what we want to see is not a lot on the sell side, but what we're doing is seeing repeat volume bursts on the buy side. So the idea there is we don't see a large institution or big volume trades happening on the downticks, but we do see them repeating on the upticks. Looks like there's a demand to access liquidity from the buy side, right? Taking liquidity on the ask. So that's the idea there. Is there a potential buildup? Something where the stock itself is behaving in a way where it's not only happening, with lots of retail flow, but someone's in there taking liquidity off the order book from the buy side. So I'm going to stop right there. We did a few examples. I think people.
Yeah, that was a great webinar, D. Thanks for bringing that to the Chameleon community. We will see you tomorrow, my friend.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. Stay safe. Have a great trading day. We hope to see you tomorrow.
Have a great day, D. Bye. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining another Market Chameleon webinar, the Stock Volume Burst Screener. We are not having a webinar with Ryan today. Something came up with him. We are going to do it tomorrow. So I will ask for symbols tomorrow for those who can't make it in the afternoon to visit with Ryan. Everyone have a great, safe trading day, and we will see you tomorrow morning.